Pixel Noir is a detective-themed turn-based RPG where you play as our troubled protagonist, haunted by the events from 10 years ago which cost him his sanity, his job, and his partner's life. Now scraping by as a private detective, an opportunity comes along that will give him the chance to clear his name once and for all. I love the pixel arts in this, which, combined with the turn-based RPG, one of my preferred genres, makes it right up my alley. Real shame that this got lost in the shuffle, so I'm doing my best to showcase it. Journey of Haha is a puzzle adventure game in which you need to push blocks, freeze enemies, solve puzzles and more to get the key to the next level. Puzzles look good in this. Riverbond was a surprising launch during E3 and is a voxel-style twin-stick action game with both projectiles and melee and looks colourful and fun. There are a bunch of guest characters, and while it can be completed solo, it supports up to 4 players locally, which should be a good time. Looking for Heals also dropped during E3 and is a party-based top-down roguelite, where you are in control of the healer, perhaps the most essential component of any party combination. The healer focus has been done before in other games, but to lead a snake-like party of characters, combined with the healing, shielding, and curing, makes this feel quite different. SpaceEngine is perhaps more simulation than game, which bills itself as the world's first science-based, photorealistic, interactive 3D planetarium that models the entire universe. I love technology since it enables things like this to exist, and while I was not as fascinated with astrology when I was younger, this nonetheless looks very neat.
The year is 2014. The world we know is long gone. Most of the world's got...
This winter season in Megadome, interactive environments and lots of death. Death by fire. Death by lasers. Death by mechanical contraption. Death from unattended construction equipment. Courtesy of our sponsors.
Nightwolf Survive the Megadome is a vehicle combat game in a very interesting past-future setting where corporate overlords control the city and devised the Megadome combat TV show to entertain and placate the masses. The retro 80s VHS visuals crossed with the dystopian cyberpunk society is interesting.
Nightwolf. Survive the Megadome.
Interstellar Rogue looks like a rather ambitious roguelite, and if you guys know me, the genre alone would have at least got me interested in checking it out. Combining a space shoot 'em up with platforming and jetpacking action on the planet, this again seems pretty ambitious if a little rough. Delivery from the Pain is a survival RPG that takes place in a zombie-infected world. Don't mind the Chinese text since it is translated, but there seems to be a rather hefty amount of content as well.
Are you ready? Fight!
The latest indie take on the Battle Royale genre is BANZAI Royale, a 16-player top-down shooter with guns, swords, and a constricting red circle of death as is expected.
After a sinister disaster, we arrived on this island. fishing was a good way to eat. We needed to build houses for the newcomers.
Seeds of Resilience hit 1.0 and is a turn-based survival tycoon game which is a very interesting mix of genres. Shipwrecked on an uninhabited island, you must rebuild your village and gather resources to survive while toughing out natural disasters. The turn-based aspect is what intrigues me the most, since tycoon games usually are real-time with pause, so this is definitely worth a look.
We were not ready to start anew. What about you?
PlataGO Super Platform Game Maker is another indie build-your-own platformer that launched out of early access after a relatively short period of time, and the variety of the art styles available does impress me. Again, the usual worry of whether there are enough players making cool levels is a huge concern.
My name is Audrey Smooth Spy. I'm on a mission to Moscow. The plan is to infiltrate a software company and to figure out what they're hiding inside. Little did I know, my problems were about to become larger than expected.
The Spy Who Shrunk Me is a first-person stealth adventure game where you are armed with a shrink ray. You can shrink both yourself and your enemies, and it does look rather polished with just a hint of humor.
Fortunately, no such thing as a setback for a woman of my stature.
Abyss Manager is a dungeon manager game where you take control of a small dungeon and have to recruit minions, construct facilities, research, and make it the most formidable abyss there is. Love the art in this. For more upcoming indie game new releases, check out the previous video or click on the recommended playlist, and I will see you after the jump.